right, what's going on, boys? We are live. Another Run Pure Bets NASCAR Cup Series pre-race video by me and Coop. Last week we were at Atlanta. Coop nailed the pre-race picks, all of them. Kurt Busch absolutely romps. Sunday show comes. We hopped on him at 20-1. The Sunday show romps. And that's where we sit going into this week. Now, Coop, we turn to Loudon, New Hampshire. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It is the Foxwoods Resort Casino 301. So first, how you doing? And second, thoughts on this race?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Hope everything's going well on your side. Waiting for a fillet. And,
I'm doing.
Guess what we'll be having with that? We'll have some asparagus. So that'll bring a smile.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Got to make my boy smile, man. So wanted to get that in there because I knew the asparagus would do it for you.
Big asparagus guy, Coop.
I know. So, and then as far as the race goes, this I don't know. This is a little different than some of the other races. I mean, we talked about this the other night for an hour and a half or so, and I like to when the board opens up, I just take a quick glance at it and see if there's anything out there that sticks out. And there wasn't a darn thing out there that stuck out to me this week. So usually I can find a couple here or there, and there's not. So I've had to do a lot more digging, and evidently a couple of the bets that I like that we talked about the other night, the odds have gone the other way, which isn't good. So that could take me off of one of them. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so I mean, people only see Coop and I do an hour pre-race video and then go live during the race. But what people don't see are the endless hours of handicapping that we spend on these races. And Coop and I were talking for like an hour and a half, 2 hours the other night in a private video stream, breaking down the race to a fine powder. And I guess we'll start here, Coop. First of all, you and I both think that if we were going to pick one manufacturer or team to win the race this week, it's Toyota, and Joe Gibbs would probably be number one. We have interest in a couple Penske drivers, and then obviously the one or two guys that will probably be strong here on come Sunday from Hendrick Motorsports. That's where we left off the other night when we were talking. After further digging in, do you still agree with that?
I totally agree with that, but I guess Christopher Bell drove down the number on Toyota from his win today. Because when we talked, they were 155. This morning they were plus 150, and now I open up and I look at it. I can only get the manufacturers on BetMGM. They don't give it to me on DK for whatever reason. But now it's down to freaking 125.
Okay, well, right now at DraftKings, you could still get plus 150 on Toyota.
That's fine. That's what I would do if I was able to do that. But I don't know if I want to pay the 125.
The interesting thing is though, and I could not imagine why, unless everybody thinks that Bubba Wallace is going to have a fucking day tomorrow. I mean, DraftKings has Toyota plus 150 to win the race, right? But Joe Gibbs is minus 110 in terms of the race teams. So why would Joe Gibbs be minus 110 to win the race and Toyota be plus 150?
Bubba Wallace is worth 60 cents, man.
Apparently, Bubba's worth 60 cents this week. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get that either. That doesn't make no sense. The books can be frustrating.
We agree plus 150 on Toyota. Now listen, Chris Bell just won the Xfinity race today at Loudon, but he had the best car all year that he was driving in that race, right? Now we think the big three: Denny Hamlin probably number one, Martin Truex number two, Kyle Busch number three, and then Chris Bell he's a good driver and great equipment. So I guess technically you never know, but would those be your first, second, and third choices to win the race?
Who was that? I was thinking about something else.
Denny Truex and Kyle.
Denny and Truex definitely. Kyle, I think, is closer to maybe a tie with a couple other drivers.
Now, when we were talking early in the week, I thought that Truex and Hamlin were automatics to be the favorites in this race, and I agree that they should be the odds-on favorites. And then I said if I was going to add two drivers besides them, it would probably be Brad Keselowski and Chase Elliott, based on how they've run on mile or under flat tracks, right? Especially over the last 18 months. And then once you and I were talking, we basically agreed Will Byron deserves to be in that conversation also. And the one driver that I didn't really think about this week that you kind of liked was Joey Logano, right? So if we were picking 7 drivers this week that we thought had the best chances, it would be the big 3 at Gibbs. It would probably be Keselowski and Logano from Penske, and probably be Byron and Elliott from Hendrick. Is that where you're still at?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think you can eliminate Kyle Larson
just because
he's Kyle Larson.
I
mean, if you look at it, evidently he's been taking in a lot of money on DK because he's now the favorite on DK and at 450. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to win, but I think Kyle Larson could finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that ballpark.
See, I'm DK in Jersey. He's still the 3rd choice at 5.5 to 1.
Jeez.
Yeah, I have right now at DK. I have Denny, your odds-on favorite, at plus 475. Marty at 5 to 1, and then Larson at 5.5 to 1. After that, Keselowski, Busch, Elliott, and Logano. So
it's completely different. I have Larson at plus 450, and then Busch, Hamlin, and Truex all at plus 6.
But the takeaway is we don't often agree with the outrights that the sports books give odds. Right. But we pretty much agree this week the top 8 choices in the outright market deserve to be the top 8 choices, right?
Yeah. And then there's a 9th also that I'm sure you'll have a difficult time mentioning.
You're going to say Kevin Harvick? Is that what you're going to say?
Oh, no.
Who?
What did I tell you about Kevin Harvick earlier this year?
He's not Jimmy Johnson yet, Coop. He's not Jimmy Johnson yet. But he's raced really well here, just like he's raced really well at all these tracks historically. But DraftKings has him at 15 to 1 as the 9th choice this week.
You still can't mention the guy's name, man.
Oh, Chris Bell?
Yeah. I think if all the cards fall right, Chris Bell could win more.
You can't throw him out, right? You can't throw him out. Gibbs runs really well here. And apparently he likes Loudon because, he won the race today. He's won a couple other races at Loudon in the Xfinity series, so you can't count him out. You can't. Yeah, you can't count him out. What do you think? All right, so let's go team by team. If you were we already know what we think about Joe Gibbs. If we were gonna talk about Penske this week, I would probably rate them Keselowski 1, Logano 2, Blaney 3. You would probably rank them what? Logano 1, Keselowski 2, Blaney 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're pretty lockstep that we think at least two of those drivers are going to have a really good day come tomorrow. Now, if you were going to rank that Hendrick drivers, I would probably put Elliott and Byron ahead of Larson and Bowman tomorrow. What do you think?
I would put Elliott and Byron ahead of Larson by a much, and I wouldn't put Elliott that far in front of Byron, but I would put all three of them a good distance in front of Bowman.
Okay. All right, so let's dig into the props. Pre-race, I'm not going to make a bet in the outright market. I take it you're not going to make a bet pre-race in the outright market?
I might at the end. We'll get to it. But it won't be a single outright. We'll get to it later.
All right. Coop's going to hide that for a little bit. I'm going to say he's going to say Bell at 20-1 is what I'm going to say.
No. You can guess all you want. It's a little different bet, man. Remember last week I told you, one of the last things I always do is I look at them others. Other bets on BetMGM, those wild and crazy ones,
Yeah.
Really don't come up with much, but, there's actually 4 of them this week that interest me. One of them I'm definitely going to play, and I think I could even talk you into playing that one. And the second one I'm possibly going to play, and that was what I was just talking about. So,
all right. Any top 5 or top 10 bets interest you this week?
There's a top 5 bet that interests me that I'll get to later because it coincides with what I was just talking about.
We're talking about it right now, bro. This is the top 5 and top 10 segment.
All right, so
okay?
we'll go on and get rid of those bets right now. Okay. So there's 4 of them, and I'll name them in the order from the one I don't like the most to the one I like the most. And then after each one, you can tell me what it is, what you think about it.
Okay.
So the first one is Martin Truex, top Toyota. Joey Logano, top Ford. William Byron, top Chevrolet. Do you see a path where all 3 of those could hit?
100%. There's a path, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are also really competitive drivers in all 3. That you only need one to fuck you up, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a path. Definitely. Yeah.
60 plus 6,600. So
okay.
I doubt if I hit it, but it intrigued me because I could see that playing out. I could see that playing out. The next one, and I doubt if I hit it, is Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, and Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, and Kyle Busch, all to finish top 5.
What's the price on that?
Plus 475.
There's definitely a path.
Yeah. I don't know if I can hit it though.
I mean, you're basically your wiggle room is what, two spots?
Yeah.
I think one of the Penske guys is going to get into the top 5, maybe 2, maybe even 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Larson, Elliott, and Byron could all hit the top 5.
Right.
So yeah, I think that price is probably a little cheap, but it's indicative. It's indicative of the fact that right now Joe Gibbs is minus 110 to win the race for a reason. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a path, but I think the number's a little cheap.
Yep. I probably won't hit that. All right. So the last two, one I'm kind of on the edge of, you know.
Yeah.
It's Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex to finish top two in any order.
At what price?
What do you think they're going to give you?
I think it's going to have to be a really good price to get that. Listen, I understand that they should be the two favorites to win the race.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start there. They should be the two favorites to win the race. For them to finish 1-2
any order
in any order,
that's the piece that intrigues me.
I would think that the book probably sets the line at 10-1, maybe. What's the line?
16-1.
Yeah, I'm interested at 16-1.
16-1.
I'm interested at 16-1. Now, fully knowing that the two Penske drivers could fuck it up, Kyle could fuck it up, and three Hendrick drivers could fuck it up.
That was the one when we were talking about an outright that I was saying, hey, I might do an outright because it involves one of them winning. So
yeah,
but I don't mind that. I have a $50 free bet, and I might dangle some money on that with that $50 free bet. So because I like the number,
I think 16-1 is a fair price on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Considering that they're first and second choice to win the race.
Right.
All right, but any top fives or top tens?
This is the one I'm going to bet. All right. It's
Okay.
Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex both to finish top five.
At what price?
What do you think they're giving them?
Plus 150.
Plus 200.
I don't mind that.
Now, they've done that 2 out of the last 5 races at Loudon, okay? And they've almost done it 3 out of the past 5. And one of them, they finished second and third. And another one, they finished first and second. And then the other one, they finished second and sixth. So they've done it twice, all right? And they almost did it a third time. And in those 5 races, at least one of them has finished in the top 5, all 5.
Yeah, I don't mind that bet. I like that bet. 2-1. I think 2-1 is a fair price.
So I'm definitely going to bet that one. So I agree with you.
The only caveat that's different this year as opposed to all the previous years would be how strong Hendrick is this year. How do you factor that in to the bet, right?
Yeah. But I mean I think there's a better than 50% chance that it hits.
I think there's a better than 50% chance that it hits. Well, I mean, if you think that, then that bet's aces. You almost have to bet it. If you think that there's a better than 50% chance that cashes, you have to at plus 200. You have to.
Like I said, I mean, it's happened twice. It almost happened a third time. And then the other 2 times, one of them finished in the top 5. So, I think, it's a very good possibility.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. You can make an argument that 3 out of 5 cars from Gibbs hits the top 5 tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. That's the one where it had plus 475 for Kyle Busch if you add it. But I mean,
Right.
Adding a third's tough, man, because of the stout competition that you have from Ford and Hendrick.
True.
So, and not only that, their other teammate in Chris Bell.
All right, so there was only
real quick to finish that off.
Okay.
With them finishing second and third one time, first and third another time. That's what intrigues me also about that finishing first and second in any order at plus 1,600. Like, I think that's very doable. I mean, Hamlin is due. He's led by far the most laps on flat tracks this year. And then if you look at who's led the second most, it's Truex. Truex has 2 wins. Denny probably had better cars in those. So I don't know, man. I like it.
And if you take out what Martin Truex has done on 1.5-mile tracks this year, he's been pretty strong.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with you. At 16-1, if you take a shot on that, I'll bet that. Where is that at BetMGM?
Yeah, it's under the other bets.
Yeah, I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot with you at 16-1. So, taking a look at the top 10, Scoop, there was really only one top 10 that interested me out of all of them. And it was Chris Bell to hit the top 10 at minus 105. I mean, it's slim. It's slim pickings, man. Will Byron, we were getting Will Byron to hit the top 10 at plus 110 the first half of the year. He's minus 175 now to hit the top 10. I mean, Kyle Busch minus 400, Logano minus 250, Harvick minus 175, Elliott minus 300, Keselowski minus 400. I think that the only reasonable top 10 bet that you can make is Chris Bell at minus 105. I think if I was going to add a second one, maybe it would be Tyler Reddick at plus 130. Maybe. But I don't know. I don't see a lot in the top 10 market this week. I think Chris Bell at minus 105 is your best shot to shoot a shot if you're looking for a top 10 this week. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%. The only thing, hold on, that I would say is, hold on one second. Yeah, well, it's done change a little bit. Earlier it was minus 115. We talked about our boy Kurt Busch the other night, and Kurt's not good on these flat tracks. Okay, and we know Chris Bell is, and Chris Bell and Kurt Busch are matched up against each other. Would you rather take a chance at him beating one driver in Kurt Busch and paying a little bit more, which is now 15 cents on MGM, and it would be 20 cents on DK versus the top 10?
Yes, I would. Yes.
So,
I'd rather go heads up to beat Kurt Busch. Let me see what price that I have on that.
it's minus 126 for me, which I don't want to pay on DK. Minus 120 on MGM. Earlier it was minus 115 on both, but I guess his win helped out.
Well, let me ask you this: my DK doesn't have that line. Okay. They're offering Chris Bell at even money, heads up against Ryan Blaney. What do you think about that?
I think it's worth a chance.
I kind of like that.
Blaney
I think will probably be better than Kurt Busch, don't you think, tomorrow?
Blaney will be better than Kurt Busch, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see Blaney, I mean, he's been solid on the flat tracks this year. Like I told you tonight, he's led some laps in some of the races. His finishes haven't been the best, though.
Bro. That 365 has Chris Bell at minus 105 heads up against Kurt Busch. Put it on the board.
You need to lock it in right now.
Put it on the board. That's going on the spreadsheet tomorrow.
You need to lock it in now, man.
Bro, come on. What's my name?
So
locking it up right now. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I mean, and people, if people still want to bet Chris Bell top 10 at minus 110, I'll be honest. I don't hate it because, like Coop said, the kid's a monster at this track. At least on the X series, right? And then on top of that, he's in great equipment. Gibbs is completely locked in when it comes to Loudon. I mean, they don't fuck around at this track. They are really, really strong. Really strong.
Yeah. But I would rather take the matchup against Kurt Busch versus
so would I. So would I, because if you're looking at what Kurt Busch has done over the last 8 races on flat tracks under a mile, he hasn't been great. I mean, at Richmond this year, he finished 13th. In 2020, he finished 13th. So pretty consistent there for Kurt, right? At Phoenix, he finished 12th this year. Last year, they raced twice in 2020. So he finished 12th and 6th, which averages out to what, 9th, basically? He basically ran 9th. And then if you take a look at what he's done at Martinsville, he ran 21st this year, and then 9th and 5th the 2 races before. So actually, you know what, bro? He's a little better than I thought he was. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, a little better, but I mean, I don't think, Chris Bell's finished in the top 10 all 4 times this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he has.
I think at least one top 5. Hold on.
He's a little better than I thought he was, though.
Yeah, he's a little better. Yeah, one top 5.
But I'll tell you what, like, if you're asking me, would you rather pay 110 for him to finish in the top 10 against 40 drivers, or minus 105 to be one guy? I think I'll take my chances against Kurt. You never know. Anything can happen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, anything can happen. It's racing. So, but I mean, again, like that's the thing. Like we continue to do. Like we just continue to see these bets. We talk about it, and we look at the other angles that we could possibly get off of it. And then that's the other piece too. You got to look at the books too, because 2 of them books we wouldn't have paid it at. But you're lucky to have that 365. Hopefully one day I'll get it. So I wish you the best of luck.
What do you how much better do you think Joey Logano is than Kevin Harvick this week?
I like him. I noticed on DK they have a matchup, but I wasn't willing to pay the price because I think it was minus 137 Logano. Yeah, it's minus 137 Logano plus 106 Harvick.
Yeah, I'm looking at minus 115 on both sides.
Wow. Yeah, I would pay. I would bet on Logano.
You like him that much in this package?
That's a top 5 machine, man. It's a top 5 machine.
What do we expect
Kevin Harvick's probably like a 7th to 12th place machine.
I was just gonna say 7 to 10. So is that what we're looking at? 7 to 10?
Mm-hmm. Look, I mean, hold on. BetMGM doesn't have Logano in any. See, that's the frustrating part about this. There's a lot of drivers we like, but the matchups aren't very great this week that they have put in. So, Logano is a plus 100 against Chase Elliott, minus 120. I'm not going to touch that. I mean, Chase could easily win. Logano could easily win. But the other piece I was looking at was so what do you think the numbers on a Kevin Harvick versus Will Byron matchup would be?
If I was setting the line?
Yeah.
I would probably, based on this year, I would probably make Will Byron minus 120 and Kevin Harvick minus 110 if I was setting the line based on this year.
Right. MGM has Will Byron at minus 105, Kevin Harvick at minus 115.
So that's just respect for what he's done in years past. That's all that is.
Right.
That's not based on what we've seen in 2021.
Yeah. And we both considered Logano and Byron better than Harvick. So, but is Logano, the books are saying Logano is that much better than Byron. On DK, they're giving him a minus 137 against Harvick. Where they're only giving Byron a minus 105.
Right.
You know?
What about Kez? Kez is the driver that's not getting talked about on this show.
But again, the matchups are horrible. I'm not playing.
What do they have for Kez?
Plus 110 against Denny Hamlin at minus 130. I'm not touching that.
But that tells you right there that they think Keselowski is in that Hamlin Truex league tomorrow. Above Joey, above Byron, above Elliott. They're putting Keselowski, the bookmakers, in that group with Denny and Martin Truex. And I'll be honest, I agree. Right. I think that he should be one of the 4 best cars on the track tomorrow.
And then on DK, I have Keselowski minus 106 against Elliott minus 125. I'm not touching that. I could go either way.
Yeah, I think Chase is going to be good tomorrow too, so I wouldn't touch that either. Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't have a strong lean on either one of them, other than they're both going to be good. I think it's a good week to pick on Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch.
What do you think about Keselowski plus 105 against Kyle Busch?
I mean, it's like we talked the other night. Kyle Busch hasn't been that great this year on the flat tracks. He's been solid. Most of these flat tracks that they ran were earlier in the year when Kyle Busch wasn't performing like he is right now. And then we even went through the starting positions of Kyle Busch, and the starting positions weren't that great on the flat tracks. So, he's starting on the pole this week. And, we know that Kyle Busch can be a monster when he starts on the pole on some of these short tracks. He's dominated in Martinsville sometimes like that. And also, he's won twice here at Loudon, both from the pole. So that was when he was really, really, really in his prime. And, right now he's trying to get back to that. He's not far away, to be honest with you. He's just lacking the wins that he was earlier.
I'm not worried about
top fives.
I don't worry about track position at Loudon, though. If you have the car, you'll go past everybody.
Oh, I know, but I think the track position starting first makes him much more susceptible to get top 5. And it's going to be harder to beat a Keselowski, or lose to a Keselowski. They're going to be right close to each other. It's just another matchup. I think it's going to be closer to each other.
So, the top group on whatever sports book is basically the sports book telling you the 4 cars that they think you have to beat this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
At Bet365 Group A, the first group, it's all Joe Gibbs. Kyle Busch at plus 180, Denny at plus 190, Truex at plus 200, and Chris Bell at plus 900 in that group.
Mm-hmm.
All four Joe Gibbs cars.
Yep. But I know you keep talking. You want to talk about Keselowski. We haven't got to the top manufacturer. Driver to finish top manufacturer.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's switch gears.
All right, but I don't know I don't have this available for me on DK. All right, but on MGM they have Brad Keselowski as a plus 170 as a top Ford.
And in my opinion, deservedly so this week.
So what would you put Logano?
If I was going to set the lines for best car by manufacturer, I would have probably set it Keselowski plus 180, Joey plus 250, and probably Harvick plus 300. If
right, you think that Keselowski's 70 cents better than
Coop, what did I say to you? The 4 cars I thought you had to beat this week: Truex, Hamlin, Keselowski, and Elliott on Tuesday when I sent you that message. I think that he deserves to be the favorite for best Ford.
Yeah, I'm not saying he don't deserve to be the favorite. All right, but on BetMGM, he's $1.05 better than Logano.
Why? What do you have over there?
170 versus 275. He's not that much better than Logano.
That's basically what I'm looking at DK. Plus 165 and then plus 280 for Logano. And they have Harvick second choice at plus 250, which is wrong. That's wrong.
BetMGM has him third choice at plus 325.
Yeah, Keselowski and Logano definitely should be your top 2 choices.
And I mean, I know that's the one thing that we differ on this week. I don't dislike Brad Keselowski this week. I just don't like him as much as what you like him. And I like Joey Logano more than him.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about Joey Logano this week until you and I talked about it for a couple hours the other night. So I respect him more now that you like him. But in my brain, when I was thinking Ford this week, I was thinking the Keselowski show this week.
I mean, the thing is, like I said to you the other night, ever since they not made the announcement, because they're not making the announcement until Tuesday, I believe. But ever since the rumors came up, all right, that he was potentially headed to Roush, he has not raced well whatsoever. All he did this year was at the beginning of the year prior to those rumors circulating. So now that it's out and everybody knows, maybe he's feels some relief or whatever. I don't know. But it's not that I don't think they're going to support him or anything to that matter, because I mean they could easily win a championship with him. But something hasn't been right with Keselowski here recently. He hasn't run well at all. And I don't know if it's, he just doesn't have, what it takes this year, or if he's looking on to next year and his ownership pieces already, or what. So, but I don't think he's that much better, if at all, than Joey Logano. And I mean, I've made my presence well known of how much I like Joey Logano in this package and how well he's done in this package.
All right, so for people watching, we're betting the outrights live this week, and Coop and I are not touching top 5s and top 10s. So throw that out. Throw that out for now. So focusing on the manufacturer. Okay. Now I have put 2 bets on the Run Pure Bets spreadsheet for this race. I'm probably going to add 1 or 2 more, I'll be honest. But they're based around the manufacturers. Now I guess quickly, just to recap Ford, Coop. Are you pulling the trigger on any top Ford numbers? I'm not. I'm not going to. Are you?
If I do, it'll be Joey Logano plus 275 or plus 275 because I can't get it on DK.
Okay, so Coop is thinking.
It interests me.
Okay, all right. So Joey Logano at plus 280 to be the top Ford, which you can get on DK right now. That interests Coop. Now, top Chevy is where I concentrated my action, and I basically took two of the four drivers at Hendrick Motorsports to be the top Chevy this week because I really like their prices based on the value of how they should run at Loudon. Now, I'm not going to give them out because they're subscriber picks, but if you watch this show start to finish, you basically know the two Chevy drivers that I'm taking to be the top Chevy. Coop, and do you disagree with the two picks that I threw up there for subscribers?
No, I don't. I mean, it's basically a 2v1 situation.
Right.
Because there's really only one driver, I think, that could spoil the party for us. And
right.
The thing is, I looked at last night, the two that we're interested in have been the top Chevy the last three races at Loudon. And then the prior two races of that, the two that, or the one that could be the spoiler was the top Chevy.
So, based on the odds that they're offering for the two guys that we're taking to be the top Chevy, I like our chances to cash a pretty nice ticket.
Yes, I do too. All
right, top Toyota. Denny's plus 170. All right, so if you take a look at the groups, the prices are better. If you take a look at Group A at that 365, Group A is all four Gibbs cars, which is basically like betting top Toyota. So you can get plus 187 on Denny Hamlin to win to be the top Toyota. You can get plus 200 on Martin Truex Jr. to basically be the top Toyota. And then they have Kyle Busch at plus 180. But if you don't want that plus 180 number, at DraftKings, they have Kyle Busch to be the top Toyota at plus 250. And then they have Chris Bell 9-1. So theoretically, you could take two of the three to be the top Toyota here, or two of the four to be the top Toyota here. Now, obviously, my gut says you take Denny Hamlin at plus 187 and you take Martin Truex Jr. at plus 200. That's what my gut says. However, I'm unsure how to factor in how strong that 18 race team has been over the last 8 weeks. They are the best non-Hendrick car on the racetrack every single week. And you and I were talking about this the other night. That's what I don't know how to factor in. And then you always have the wild card, Chris Bell, who fucking loves Loudon. And you have the shot to get him at 9-1. So what are your thoughts for top Toyota? Do you think it's Denny and Truex?
I mean, I think it is, but I agree with everything you said. It's about trying to figure out Kyle Busch. And, if the car's just not performing well on the flat tracks, or if it just wasn't performing well earlier in the year, and now it's performing well, and it's going to continue to perform well on the flat tracks. So, he's kind of the wild card, that we're not quite sure how to handle this week, I believe.
Yeah, like I'll tell you what this is what my gut says, Coop. My gut says you take Hamlin at plus 190 and you take Truex at 2-1. and you try to scrape a unit, right? And if Kyle Busch is really strong during the race, like if he's really, really strong, you're going to be able to get a decent outright price on him to win the race, because you have to assume Denny and Truex are going to be in the mix to win the race this week. So I think that if you take Hamlin at plus 190 and you take Truex at 2-1 to scrape a unit profit, if you end up having to hedge, the hedge would be Kyle Busch to win the race. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's fine. I mean, we talked about that in another scenario the other night, with another manufacturer. So, I don't mind that whatsoever.
All right, so I'm letting everybody know I'm probably going to throw Chris Bell over Kurt Busch to go as a third spreadsheet play at minus 105. So I guess for the purposes of the video, I'll roll with that. If you were going to narrow it down to one play, Coop, to give the people, would it be what, plus Toyota to win the race at plus 150? What would be your one free pick to throw to the people?
It would either be that one, which I don't know if I can bet now, because it's 125 for me. And the other one that I like, it's gaining steam for me, we talked about earlier, is Hamlin and Truex to finish top 5 plus 200.
I like that bet. But not everybody's going to be able to get that bet, unfortunately. It's right. Probably only going to be BetMGM people. Right. So if you were going to give one non-BetMGM specific bet, would it be like Toyota to win the race at plus 150 or Logano to be the top Ford at plus 280? What would you roll with?
I would roll with Christopher Bell over Kurt Busch, to be honest with you. I like that more and more as we speak. It's unfortunately another bet I can't place. Because I can
always put it free if you want me to. You just PayPal.
Yeah, but I like that one. The more and more we go into it, and I don't think I don't like Toyota to win. If I was at plus 150, I would definitely be jumping all over that. I'm just not so sure about it at plus 125.
I think that there will be multiple books this week where people will be able to get Toyota wins at plus 150. There's going to be multiple outlets. All right, so we'll roll with those two. We'll take Bell over Busch at minus 105, and we'll take Toyota wins the race at plus 150. And East Woodmore he has a question for us. Do you think Bubba Wallace would win a race if he was sponsored by Steakums? Yeah, that's a resounding no. I think if God was the sponsor on Bubba Wallace's car, he still wouldn't win the race.
It's like I told you the other night. If Bubba Wallace wins the race, it's going to be at Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he could win a race there. He's a decent restrictor plate racer. He's always had a whip there, and the randomness of those races. But those are the only two races I think he could win.
All right, boys. In terms of the content this weekend, I'm about to go live for the next 6 hours, like I do every day, for Run Pure Bet subscribers. We got UFC Fight Night. We got the NBA Finals Game 5. Gavin's going to pop in. Spread's going to hang out for the first half. Coop, you're welcome to come and hang out with us. If you're not busy, I'll send you the invite. And then tomorrow morning, JJ, Joey, and Holden have their MLB Best Bet show around noon. And then tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, Coop and I will be live for the Foxwoods Resort Casino 301 at Loudon Motor Speedway or New Hampshire.
Real quick, if you're going to place a bet tonight in the Suns and Bucks game and you're putting $50 or more on it, MGM has a promo where if you hit that $50 or more bet, they're offering a free bet of ABC for every field goal he scores. You get $2 in a free bet. So, you could end up with a $20, $30 bet. They did it the other night, and I ended up with a $30 bet. So, free bet. And then hopefully, the bet that you place also wins. So, make some good money off of it.
Are you coming to hang out with us tonight?
As long as I get the playbook done.
All right. Gun to your head. Suns win game 5?
Gun to my head, they win the first quarter.
That doesn't help us, Coop. That doesn't help us at all. That doesn't help us at all.
They're a good first half team, man, but they struggle in the second half. I hope the Suns win.
Who wins game 5, Coop? I'm putting you on the fucking spot, Coop. Who wins game 5?
Phoenix.
All right, boys. I'll be live in about 15 minutes. The link is on the spreadsheet and in the Discord. And then JJ, Joey, and Holden will see you guys in the morning tomorrow. Coop and I will see you tomorrow afternoon. And aside from that, we hope your action runs pure this weekend, regardless of what you bet. And I'll see you guys in about 15 minutes. Later.